For years, I thrived in the high-pressure business world, but the workaholic life finally caught up with me. I was 35, very overweight, in chronic pain with severe mobility issues, terrible diet, no exercise. My health was a complete wreck. Then I went to a gentle yoga class and felt truly relaxed. The stress just melted away. I went from a size 18 to a size 8. I stopped getting sick. Pain disappeared. I learned to open my heart and I felt happy for the first time in years. So I said goodbye to the business world and started teaching. Yoga doesn't have to be strenuous. The easiest movements can trigger major release of chronic symptoms, no matter your age.
Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems.
Hello, I'm Deborah Devine. Welcome to Healing Yoga. Yoga for real people with real problems. And yes, that was the story of how I came to gentle yoga. My real problems, chronic pain and fatigue and major stress, causing inflammation in my joints.
Now let yoga help you too. Lupus is a painful illness that is exacerbated by stress. Please join me for some healing yoga tips that are designed to improve breathing, calm the mind, and reduce pain.
So we're going to start with a wonderful warm-up. This is going to be a very gentle practice. We're coming down onto our back. Angela, come on over here. And we'll come down onto our back in a very gentle way. If you've got problems with your joints and there's a lot of pain, use a chair to help you come down. You put your hands on the chair. One knee comes down, then the other knee comes down. And then you can come onto your back with the knees bent. The feet are about hip-width apart, a little bit wider. The shoulder blades come down the back. Upper arm bones rotating externally, palms facing the sky, unfurling the fingers like the petals of a lotus. And then the next time you take an out breath, let the knees move over to the left and the head moves over to the right. And then an in-breath comes back to center. Everything comes back to center. Exhaling, the knees over to the right, the head moving over to the left, and so on. This movement sequence is a wonderful way to get out of the fight-flight aspect of the nervous system, the sympathetic part of the nervous system, and switch on the parasympathetic aspect of the nervous system. This is the part of the nervous system that helps us with resting and digesting. Now, very gently, bring your arms up and begin to circle your wrists and spread your fingers. If you feel ambitious, you can raise your arms up to the sky, but if you don't, you can just keep your elbows resting on the ground and just do this movement a couple times one way, a couple times the other way. And then we'll just let the arms come down. And then the right foot comes up and over, resting on the left knee. We'll circle that ankle and spread the toes around. And then we'll just let the foot engage in dorsiflexion, the heel strong, toes spread wide apart. We'll go to the right sit bone, draw the right sit bone down and point it toward the grounded foot and begin to rock. Head moving in one direction, legs moving in the opposite direction. Now we're getting into the hip rotators. There's a muscle here, the piriformis, that gets very tight when we have stress. That muscle begins to charge up and the sciatic nerve travels either underneath it or through. So giving this rocking sensation, this rocking movement will help release some tension in the piriformis. Wonderful. Please remember to do the opposite side of this pose. But right now, we're going to be moving on to our next pose. Upavistha Konasana, a seated forward fold. It would be nice to lift the pelvis, so we're going to sit on a blanket. We're using the blanket to lift the hips to help the spine move in its natural curves. We take the sit bones and we move them back, and then the legs come out. We don't have to come out very far, just come out to the most comfortable place for your legs today. We go to the legs and we internally rotate the upper legs so that we can feel more grounded through the sit bones. Take the feet, engage dorsiflexion, heel strong, toes spread wide apart, and then just very gently hug muscle to bone. The leg muscles here are starting to squeeze and press down. When we engage the legs and press down, we're moving old energy down into the ground And we're making space and room for fresh energy and fresh vitality to come in. Press down with the legs. Energize. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw the heart forward. We don't have to go too far. We just go to the point between comfort and discomfort. We're trying to lengthen the backs of the legs and lengthen the front of the spine. Just let the out-breath be complete. Feel the belly come to the front spine. Pause for a moment and then feel that beautiful in-breath that comes. Like an old friend. Feels so nourishing. We're going to take some side bends. Left hand onto the side. Press down with the fingers. And open up the ribs. Go as far as you feel comfortable, but keep both sit bones resting on the ground. Long, slow, smooth in-breath. Long, slow, smooth, and complete out-breath. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Draw the shoulder blade down the back, and then we're going to turn the head and look up into the crease of the inner elbow. Then we take the head back down again, letting the arm come down and resting. Energize the legs, hugging muscle to bone, and grounding, engaging apana, this downward flowing pranic wind. Pressing down with the fingertips. Inhale, left arm comes up. And we just tilt over, bending here through the side. Energize the arm. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Turn the head and look up into the inner elbow. Long, slow, smooth in-breath. Long, slow, smooth, and complete out-breath. Let the arm come back down. Inhaling, lengthening, grounding the legs. Exhale, bring the heart forward. And then we'll come back up on the inhale. Wonderful. We're going to come forward. We're going to take the knees apart. And we're going to straddle onto the bolster. And then we're going to let the short edge of the bolster rest right underneath the heart. So we come forward and we rest down. Coming forward a little bit more. Yes, yes, there you go. Now a little bit more. Yes, you're going to be right here, resting on the short edge of the bolster. Yes. Now let the legs come out to the side and long. Yes, fantastic. Cross your forearms and rest your temples or rest your forehead down. Yes. Rock pose is an extremely soothing pose. Let the out-breath be complete. Feel the belly sink a little bit closer toward the front of the spine. Pause for a moment. Enjoy that beautiful stillness that we find there. It's so important to make sure that we're keeping ourselves oxygenated and alkalized. Now let's come to Supta Baddha Konasana, the supine bound angle pose. So we're going to take one bolster lengthwise and we're going to place it behind the buttocks. Yes. And we're going to use a blanket as a support for the head and the neck. And then we use the hands beside us to help us come down and rest. How's that? Great. You can move your pelvis away from the bottom of the ribs if there's any pinchiness in the low back. Then the knees are going to be supported with another bolster. Then we can let the soles of the feet come together and let the knees splay apart. So we've got this wonderful resting pose here, resting goddess pose. What can be really helpful is to use weights and supports to help us feel really grounded. So an eye bag is a wonderful idea. Now the eye bag is not really meant to be resting on the eyes because we won't want to interfere with the shape of the cornea. But if we rest the eye bag just on the forehead and on top of the brow bone, and then maybe just tuck it down so that it's resting just at the top of the eyelid, that can have a very calming and cooling effect on the brain. And then we can take a blanket and cover ourselves up. Keep ourselves warm. It's very soothing to have a blanket when we're resting in Savasana. And then if we have a rice bag or a yoga sand bag, we place it on the bottom of the pelvis. Now we surrender completely. Feel yourself getting wider and flatter and feel the supports underneath you. If you've got glasses, just remove them and place them off to the side. the mind starts to settle. Resting is very important. It's important because our bodies are overworked. We are probably in a state of overwhelm with so many responsibilities and so many activities. Coming into a resting position can be very challenging and difficult for you because it's not necessarily your natural state. But give yourself permission to rest with purpose. Let yourself rest back, sink the shoulder blades into the ground, sink the pelvis into the ground, and take a long, slow, smooth in-breath into the feet, the legs, the hips, the spine and the back, breathing in light and spaciousness. Exhaling tension, exhaling holding. Long, slow, smooth in-breath into the belly, into the chest and the arms and the hands. Breathing in light and spaciousness. Exhaling tension, exhaling holding and surrendering.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and stay up to date on all the latest videos. And let me know in the comments section below what other kind of videos you'd like to see.